Everyone, this is our next video of ipsec VPN series. As I have already updated on community post that we have covered all theory parts of the ipsec VPN. So now today we are going to start the lab series of the ipsec VPN. So we will configure the ipsec VPN, plus we will check the verifications. We will also see the packet capture logs and other things we will cover in this series. So today we have prepared one lab for ipsec VPN, and this is between the from Palo Alto Firewall towards the Fortinet Firewall. So let me explain the first the lab scenarios, then we will start with the configurations of these solutions. So let me pick it up the my pen. So in this lab we have a one ipsec. This is the ISP router which is mentioned here. This is our ipsec. This is our ISP router, and now we have a one site A which is on the Palo Alto Firewall, another site B which is on the Fortinet Firewall. To save the resources, I have taken one side as a Palo Alto Firewall and second side as a Fortinet Firewall. But this whole series we will explore the logs mainly on the Palo Alto Firewall. We will explore very less on Fortinet Firewall. So all the packet captures, all the debugs, VPNs, IKE debugs, we will perform on the Palo Alto Firewall in this whole playlist. So we will less touch the Fortinet. So let's explain the more on this lab. So the management interface of this Palo Alto, it's connected to the cloud to access this firewall on my laptop web interface. Same is with the Fortinet Firewall. The port 1 is connected to the management cloud to access this Fortinet Firewall on the web-based browser access. And we have a one LAN segment of 192.168.30.1, means 30.1 is assigned a Ethernet 1/2, which is act as a LAN segments. The subnet will be 30.0/24, and same is the Fortinet. Fortinet is having the 40.1 which is assigned on the port 3, and the LAN subnet of site B is the 192.168.40.0/32. I have assigned a two routers which will act as a PC. Like you can consider this will act as a host on the both side. So the IP address of these routers will be the for the site A 192.168.30.10, for the site B 192.168.40.10. Further, this is Ethernet 1/1 where we have assigned the IP address 1/111/32, and the another peer of this ISP router is first Ethernet 0/1, the another part of assigned to that ISP router. Same is the Fortinet 2.2.2 1/32, and 2.2.2/32 is on the ISP router. So this was the overview of this lab. So I have already configured this lab, so I will show you that what are the configuration needed for the Palo Alto Firewall, for the Fortinet Firewall to bring this up. So let's see the configurations. So first I will start with the Palo Alto Firewall. What are the configurations needed for the Palo Alto Firewall? So let's start with the interfaces. So which I just show you that on my lab topology. This Palo Alto Ethernet 1 will be connected to the ISP. The IP will be 1111/32, and Ethernet 1/2 connected towards the LAN side. So let's start with the interface, then slowly we'll cover the what are the configurations is required. So I have assigned the IP address 111 Ethernet 1/1. So this will connect to the ISP, and Ethernet 1/2 this is connected to the LAN segments. And I will not cover the how we can assign the IP address and zone and other thing, because I have already playlist on my channel. So if you have not watched that playlist, so just go to that playlist where you will see the how to assign the IP address and all things. It is already covered. So this is the overview of this is the purely configuration of the IPsec. So Ethernet 1/1 and IP address is 111/32. Ethernet 1/2, then the IP address will be the 192.168.30.1. So this is the part of IP addresses. And now these 1111 is a part of untrust zone. 30.1 is a part of trust zone, which we just created. So after the creation of interface, we have to create a one tunnel interface. So creating the tunnel interface is very simple. You have to click the just add button. So now I have already created one tunnel. Then let's explore that. So now here you have to type then any number. So in my case, I have typed 10. I have assigned this tunnel interface on the untrust zone, but it is also possible that you can assign to a different zone and you can create a policies on that different zone. It is also possible. In my case, my physical WAN interface and this tunnel interface on the same zone, which is on untrust zone. But it is also possible that you can assign this tunnel interface in a separate zone and to create a separate firewall policies. It is also possible. So it up to us how what is the our design. So to assign any separate zone, we just create a new zone, which is I have already covered. So now these things have been done, Ethernet and tunnel. Now let's explore the iCrypto. So I have created this custom iCrypto profile. To creating this iCrypto profile is very simple. We just need to click this add button, which is the bottom of this Palo Alto. Here is the add button. Now in my case, I have already created to save the time of the YouTube video. So I have selected DH group as a 14, authentication as a SHA-1, encryption as a DES. I have selected lower the encryption because my Fortinet firewall doesn't support the highest encryptions because of FortiOS issue. And this is the key lifetime. It is used for the phase 1. So as I have already told you during the theory sessions, once the phase 1 negotiations has been done, they will form the essay, and the time of essay will known as the key lifetime, or they will renegotiate and they will again generate a key. That process we known as the key lifetime process. So we have to define the key lifetime, and now just okay and say whatever it is. So we have not made any changes, we just edit and see it. So this is the first step for to creating a tunnel in Palo Alto. So this is the first step. You have to define the iCrypto, and I just show you that we have to create the tunnel interface also. Now the third step I would say, because tunnel interface we have created, and second iCrypto we have created, and third is the IPsec crypto profile. So I have already created. To adding a new profile is very simple, just need to add button and a fresh pop-up window will come, which I can show you as well. So this page will come. So now I have to open my one which I have created with the Fortinet, and this is basically a phase 2 configuration. So IK crypto is for phase 1, IPsec crypto profile is for phase 2. Now here we have to define the again encryption algorithms. DES is the encryption algorithm, and this is the authentication for MD5 I have taken. Now you have to define the Diffie-Hellman group. In my case I have taken 14. You can choose whatever required. And now here we have defined the lifetimes of the phase 2, and this is the third step. Now fourth step will be the I gateway. We have to call that whatever we have created in the I gateway. So once you click on this add button again, you will get the pop-up. In my case, I have created it. Let's open that one and explore. So you have to define the tunnel name. So I have taken tunnel with the Fortinet. Here you have to select the which version you want, IIC v1, IIC v2 or IIC v2 preferred mode. So during the theory session, I have explained clearly what is the difference between the IIC v1 and IIC v2. Now address type we will IPv4, and here we have to select the interface, which interface will we communicate to the that remote host. So now if you see in our case, we have that Ethernet 1/1 which is connected to the Fortinet side. So we will select that Ethernet 1/1. Ethernet 1/1 we will select, then we will get the IP address which is assigned on the interface. After that, we have to define the peer IP address. What will be the peer IP address? So the peer IP address will be the this Fortinet IP address, and which is the 2.2.2.1. And let me reopen it. Yeah, 2.2.1. So this is the Fortinet IP address. So in the real scenarios, this will become a public IP address of the remote host, and this will become the public IP address of the your local corporate firewall. So after that, you have to define the pre-shared key. So this pre-shared key will be the identical on the both side. During our theory sessions, we have detailed discussion about this pre-shared key. And so this is the general tab. We have to configure it. After that, we have the advanced options. So in the advanced options, if you want to enable the passive mode, we can enable it. If you want to enable the NAT, we can enable it. This is not required in my case. I have not enabled it. So I have selected exchange mode as the main. So during the theory sessions, I have already explained that we have a two modes, main mode and aggressive mode for the phase 1. Quick mode is for the phase 2, and this is mentioned here IKE v1. So I have selected this exchange mode as a main, and now I have attached my IKE crypto profile. This is the phase 1. You can see this is the IKE crypto profile. I have attached on this advanced options on the ipsec gateways. So we just created this iCrypto and I have attached on the IKE gateways. So this was the fourth steps. Tunnel interface we created, iCrypto profile we created, ipsec crypto created, IKE gateway created. Now the last step will be that we have to call all that elements to at ipsec tunnels. So once you clear that, it will pop up. So I have already created. So let's explore this. So here we have to define the name of the tunnel. So generally it's a Fortinet. I have taken as a Fortinet. Here we have to select the tunnel interface which we have created on the step 1. So I have taken that interface on the I have selected that tunnel interface on here, ipsec tunnel, which is the 10. Now we have to select the IKE gateway. IKE gateway, we just few seconds back we created the IKE gateway. So we have to select that IKE gateway. Just if you scroll down, then the drop down menu we can select that, and now we can select that ipsec crypto, which is this. So we just created that ipsec IKE everything. Here we have to define the proxy ID. Proxy ID means that interesting traffic. So in my case, this is my local subnet which is behind on my Palo Alto Firewall, and this is the 40.0, which is my Fortinet firewall local subnet, which is this. So my local subnet is the 30.0 and my Fortinet subnet is the 40.0. So that address I have selected on this proxy IDs. It is done. So now what will be the other steps? You have to go to the virtual routers. So I have a virtual routers still for the ISP to move all traffic to give the ISP. So this is my default route where I have sent everything to the Ethernet 1 with next over 1.1.2, which is in my case, my lab scenario, this is the ISP. This is 1.1.2 is the ISP. So I have one default route which points everything towards this ISP. So this is the explanation of default route. So by default it exists on the corporate firewalls. So I have added one more route, and this is for the VPN. This is for the VPN route. The name would be the VPN route and the destination would be the remote address, and the interface will be the tunnel which we created on the step 1. So after adding this all elements, you just OK and save it. Now we have done the IPsec VPN configuration on the network level. Now one more thing is required to forward the traffic is the access policy. So without the policy, this traffic will not allowed. So the last step on the Palo Alto Firewall will be the create a policy. So I have already created. This is the name of policy. Trust zone to the untrust zone. This is my local subnets and this is the remote subnets. And for the incoming traffic, untrust zone source will be the Fortinet and incoming zone will be the trust. So incoming source zone will be the untrust and destination zone will be the trust, and this will be the local network. So local network means the Fortinet LAN segments. So which is this? If I open this, so source zone will be the untrust because we are receiving traffic from the untrust zone. So now if I show the value of this object group, so we can see this is the value of it, 40.0, which is the Fortinet LAN. So this was the steps to create a IPsec tunnel on the Fortinet firewall. So let's quickly go through the Fortinet firewalls. So this was the step, and this previous step was to create a IPsec on the Palo Alto. Now we will explain the how we can create on the Fortinet firewall. So to creating a Fortinet firewall, I have logged in already, and there is the interface IP assignments which I will not cover. Let's just quickly go through it. So I have assigned the port 1 0.0/33. This is for the management purpose, and port 0.2, this is connected to the ISP. Port 3, this is my LAN segment which is connected to my internal switch. And after that I have to create the VPN. So I have already visited on the VPNs. So here I have created the IPsec tunnels. So the first step will be the static IP address. Need to select the static IP address of the remote pair. So my Palo Alto IP address will be the 1.1.1, which is this IP address, and interface will be the port 2. So which is this port 2, which will be the Fortinet port 2, which is connected to the ISP. And after that we have to define the authentications. This will be the pre-shared key. So I have selected the pre-shared key. We have to type the pre-shared key, and you have to select the main mode. So we already selected the main mode on the Palo Alto side also. So then after that we have to select the algorithms, phase 1 proposals. So encryption DES, authentication SHA-1, and this is the key lifetime, and this is the DH group. So which we created on the IKE profile on the Palo Alto firewall. Same way I have created on this Fortinet side also. XOAuth is not required for the site-to-site VPN. This is for the remote-based VPN. We'll cover on the separate videos on that. So now here we have to define the local and remote networks. So we called as the interesting traffic. So just we define on the Palo Alto side, we have to define on the same way on the Fortinet side. So if I scroll down, so this will be the local network and this will be the remote network. After doing that, we have that another options for the advanced settings. Just scroll down. So here we will get the other options that phase 2 for the encryption will be the DES, authentication will be the MD5, and DH group will be the 14, and this is the key life seconds which we have on the Palo Alto also. So after completing this step, the VPN configuration done for the Fortinet side. Now other steps also needed. First one is for the static routes towards the tunnel interface. So I have created the static route. The destination will be the 30.0, which is my Palo Alto sites. If user want to access 30.0, send to the tunnel interface. So in the Fortinet, if we create any site to site VPN, the Fortinet firewall automatically create a virtual tunnel interface, and using that for virtual tunnel interface we have to define the static routes, plus we have using that tunnel interface we have to define the policies also. So now using this tunnel interface, the traffic will route towards the 30.0. So this step is done. Now you can see we have already default route towards the ISP, with same case in the case of the Palo Alto, same as we have the default route towards the ISP. Other the thing is pending is the policy creations. One is for the incoming and one is for the outgoing. So let's open this policy. So in this policy, traffic is coming from port 3, means the LAN, and the outgoing interface will be the tunnel interface, which is the tunnel interface created towards the Palo Alto firewall. Source will be our LAN segment. If I go that, this is Fortinet LAN and this is the Palo Alto LAN. So I have allowed every port and okay. This is for the outgoing, and for that incoming. In this case, the traffic will hit on the tunnel interface and going for the LAN side of the Fortinet firewall. Source will be the Palo Alto LAN. The destination will be the Fortinet LAN. So I have to just rename the policy. This will be not incoming. This is basically the outgoing policy because traffic is going from the LAN side. Outgoing. The LAN side, because the traffic will be come from port 3 and port 3 is the LAN side, and which will go on the using the virtual interface, it will reach to the Palo Alto firewall. So this all the configuration is required to creating the IPsec tunnel between the Palo Alto and towards the Fortinet firewall. So to keep the video shorter, I will just perform some ping test to show that this tunnel is up. So in the next video we will cover the other things up also. So configuration part I have already covered, how we can create the tunnel between these two parties. So if I try to ping, and this is the site A host, you can clearly say this is the site A host, which is this router IP address 30.10. I can show you the interface also. So this is the Cisco router. Basically I have acted as a host, the 30.10, which is this, and now 192.168.40.10. So I just initiated and this is working. The traffic from Palo Alto to the Fortinet is working fine. And let's do the reverse also. So this is the site B host and I can show the IP address also. The IP address of 40.10, 40.10, and ping will be the 30.10, 30.10. So this is working fine. How we can validate? We can validate through the policy hits. Other things are also there. Using the, you can check the IPsec gateway status. So we have just hit the policies, and last is was this, and now we can go to the network, and there is the options for the IPsec tunnel, and we will see that this tunnel is up on the Palo Alto Firewall. On the Fortinet side, we can, because we have send and receive both side, so which we will see first the outgoing, so 30 seconds before it is used. And now this is for the, and I will check the other one also, and 39 minutes. Okay, so let me perform the one quick action to refresh the policies. So this was below the traffic which is on the Palo Alto. So let me ping from the Palo Alto 30.10. So 30.10, I will try to initiate 40.10 to make that policy hits up. So I can show you that this hits very recently. So now let me try again. I am on the site A 40.10. It should be very straightforward. If I initiate telnet, so basically I am doing the telnet from site A to site B. 192.168, 40.10. Yeah, I've received that. Cisco and Cisco. Now I'm on the site B host. So tunnel with PA, and now we'll go on this. Yeah, 20 seconds ago. So incoming is the tunnel interface, which is the Palo Alto, and going towards the Fortinet LAN. And yeah, we can see these tunnels are up. So this was the video for the creation of the IPsec tunnel between the Palo Alto and Fortinet firewall, between the Fortinet firewalls. So I understand that this is purely configuration videos, and the verification, in the detailed verification, I will create in the next videos, so that I will make the video shorter. I am trying to avoid the longer videos. So for my question for the audience will be the, I have just created this IPsec VPN. So you can comment on the comment section that what type of tunnel I have created. This is the policy based or this is the route based. So I will wait for your comments. Thank you so much watching the Firewall Experts. I hope you enjoyed the video very well. And if you enjoyed, please hit the like button, so it gives me a very stronger feelings and to or motivate me to creating such kind of technology videos. Thanks for watching Firewall Experts.